Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show by people. Belize our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. Is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes. WB. And all the things that will happen like that blue skies. And nothing make people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in from work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show, my people. Belize our hopes up to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. Is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. People to make the changes. We are the changes. WB. And all the things that will happen under God blue skies. And nothing make people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB.
Good morning, Belize. Welcome to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. It's Monday, the 17th of February, 2025. Wherever you are, we hope that you are lifting up with great health, your energy is high, vibrations positive, and you have space to be with the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, Belize's premier morning conversation. Hosting today, yours truly, Mose Hyde, has the wheels. And we want to welcome each and every one of you. You're listening to Creme Radio, you're watching XTV, you got us on your apps, or you've got us via our social media streams or simulcast coverage. It's great having you here to start the day. Always give thanks for health and strength. As we proceed with what we call the warm-ups, the preliminaries, we've got your morning news. Before we do that, of course, we've got your weather forecast from the National Meteorological Service, and we've got forecaster Catherine Kamabach to get us started.
Good morning, Belize. A relatively moist easterly airflow prevails. The 24-hour forecast for Belize and her coastal waters calls for sunny skies today with cloudy intervals, and high today are expected to reach 84 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 88 inland and 76 over the mountains. Tonight, the skies will be partly cloudy with low temperatures of 77 along the coast to 72 inland and 65 in the higher elevations. A few showers will continue to develop around the country during the daytime, then become isolated tonight and tomorrow. The winds will blow from the east at 10 to 15 knots and the sea state will be choppy. A high tide will occur at 6:55 this morning, followed by a high at 12:39 in the afternoon, and then a low will occur at 7:42 tonight and a high at 1:25 a.m. The sun will rise at 18 minutes past 6 this morning and set at 5:55. The moon set at 16 minutes past 9 today and comes up at 13 minutes past 10 tonight. The outlook for Tuesday and Tuesday night is for fair conditions to prevail, and showers, if any, will be isolated. In the sargassum forecast, a gradual increase in sargassum is expected over the area during the next few days. And that's your morning forecast that was prepared here at the National Meteorological Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
Morning news. Yet again, Belize has not been ranked for the Corruptions Perceptions Index rank published every year by Transparency International, a non-government organization. The latest report for 2024 is current to February this year. 180 countries were ranked, with Denmark, Finland, and Singapore leading the list for least corrupt. They have scores of 90, 88, and 84 respectively. 100 signals very clean, whereas 0 is highly corrupt. The most highly corrupt countries, according to the ranking, are South Sudan with a score of 8, Somalia with a score of 9, and Venezuela with a score of 10. Guatemala has a score of 25, Mexico 26, and the US 65. In February of 2023, the Bicentennial administration issued a release pointing out that Belize had not been ranked since 2008, but informed that the country, through our Good Governance Unit, had been in discussions with representatives from the Latin American Caribbean Transparency International to get back in the CPI. The issue had been that only 2 of the 13 data sources used had data for Belize, and a minimum of 3 data sources are needed. Nonetheless, the government said that for 2022, Transparency International provided an estimated rank for Belize of 47 to 52. Area Representative Honorable Rodolph Ferguson for Stanquick West has weighed in on the filling of the water catchment area along the road to Hopkins. As we reported Friday, an area near the road was being filled, sparking outrage from residents. The minister said he was not on the ground at the time of the protest, but that he maintained communication and that the Forestry Department intervened and a stop order was issued. He stated, "I want to make categorically clear that I was not a part or parcel of any arrangement to fill the catchment area. I don't even know if anyone had a valid permission to survey." Village Council had issued a statement saying that the wetlands are actually situated beyond the canal and the area being worked on does not fall within these boundaries. Additionally, we are taking all necessary steps to ensure proper drainage in the area to prevent any future issues. However, aerial photos now released show that the land being fixed, though adjacent to the road, is smack in the middle of the catchment.
'Cause 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 'cause
Akeem Smith, also known as Baby, a fisherman and the brother of a leading gang figure in Lake Independence area, came under fire Saturday evening around 6. He and 3 other men were coming in from a fishing trip when one of 2 men who were standing on the side of Hallowell Creek off North Front Street fired several shots at them. The men are reported to have jumped into the creek and swam towards City Hall. Smith was grazed to the head. Police recovered one 9mm expended shell behind City Hall. The People's United Party is moving full steam ahead to March 12th, and Sunday held a massive national pre-election convention and unity rally at the Civic Center in Belize City. However, the party had organized a pre-entertainment event that started a few hours ahead. Dozens of buses arrived from all 6 districts, and supporters filled the Civic, spilling over to the compound due to standing room only. The party endorsed its national executive, the 31 standard bearers, and planned Belize via resolutions passed. Thereafter, the national executive was sworn in, after which party leader John Bisenio addressed the crowd.
My friends, members of the People's United Party, today I want to thank all of you for trusting in us and for supporting Plan Belize.
We always will.
I want to thank those who serve in our party's national executive. They work hard, and your hard work paid off.
Thank you.
Look around you. Look at who we are. We stand together as a strong People's United Party. Earlier we had a moving tribute to 2 of our leaders. It is important that we honor those who serve before us. Their legacy reminds us to be faithful to a peaceful, constructive Belizean revolution.
Thank you.
A revolution that embraces change.
All the way.
Our mission now is, as it was then, to advance the progress for the people of Belize. We must continue to deliver on Plan Belize by embracing Plan Belize 2.0.
The presentation of the party's manifesto, deemed Plan Belize 2.0, is expected to be done at an event in Cayo after nominations, which are scheduled for February 24. The PUP has also planned rallies by region, with 2 additional rallies in San Pedro and Belmopan. Its slogan for this election is Right Pan Track, and in Spanish, Vamos Bien. After Sunday's grand event, we spoke with party chairman Henry Usher.
I'm in the presence of our party delegates, our party supporters from around the country. It is an awesome feeling. It is something I don't ever take for granted. It's something that I've learned to really appreciate. The support, the love, the energy, the enthusiasm that our party supporters give us. So this is why we are in this. We are here to serve people, and we're here to make sure that we make their lives better.
You guys are rolling right now.
Well, the people support us, and I think that's what you're seeing. You're seeing that support countrywide. You're seeing the work that we have done. You're seeing the rollout of Plan Belize really bear fruit in terms of the development of our country, in terms of the improvement in the lives of our citizens. And I think that is what you're seeing, and that's why you see that support today.
And I understand that you have a whole lot of other events planned, like rallies all over the country.
We have a few rallies planned. We also have our manifesto launch coming up. We will sure to share the dates and places and times with you guys. But yes, we do have some rallies because this is a national election, so we have to make sure that we reach out to all, at least to all of our caucuses at least one time before March 12th.
Via newspaper advertisements, the Forest Department, which falls under the Ministry of Sustainable Development, has advised that the government intends to alter the boundary of the Siboon Forest Reserve located in Cayo and Stanquick districts. The area was declared a forest reserve in 1977 to safeguard the upper watershed of the Siboon River and forest management for sustainable timber extraction. The notice states, to date, portions of the Siboon Forest Reserve along the Hummingbird Highway have been cleared and developed and are occupied by persons living in the area. A public consultation was held earlier this month, and members of the public or affected persons can submit written representations or objections to the Minister on or before March 31st, 2025. And that ends the morning news update. We take a small break, and when we come back on the other side, we're going to open up for a conversation. Of course, you're listening to Creme Radio, you're watching XTV.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. The news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports.
All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Mose Hyde hosting today on this Monday morning, the 17th of February 2025. And now we are open for the business of conversation, which means that you could call in and engage, reason, express, articulate, talk to it, tell you where to go on with you on this Monday morning. You do that by calling 280-5848. That's the number to call. 280-5848. Monday morning serving of the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Now, I want to start off this morning very quickly. I feel duty bound to speak about the leader of the opposition's interaction with our news editor, Marisol Amaya, which happened on Friday. Before I say anything, let me just say that really I imagine there are a number of people who are very cognizant and who are well aware of our news editor's reputation. She has earned her credentials over the years that she has been news editor, and she doesn't need me to defend her or anybody to defend her, and she has no interest in being defended or to defend or to say anything. In her view, it's like that's nothing. And that's just the nature of how she operates. Obviously, this is not the first time that she's experienced what I deem disrespect, rudeness. Her view, I believe, is that this comes with a job. But I think it's important to just say certain things about Ms. Marisol Amaya, since the leader of the opposition accused her of being dishonest and being ignorant. And you have to understand the shoes that I wear. Besides being the host of WB3 Mornings Out of the Work Week, I'm also a director of XTV, one of the entities that aligns with Creme Radio, both of which Ms. Marisol Amaya goes out and does her work. And essentially the work that she does very often puts her on the front line, and what I said to her puts you in the firing range. Now let me tell you something. I've been involved with media since obviously a very long time, 3.5 decades. I have never been interested in doing any of that, being a journalist, going out there to do interviews. Down on my team. My temperament can't deal with that. It's a very special energy that's required to go there and try to get information out of people. Many times it's a high pressure, high intensity. Sometimes, very often, the issues are contentious, and journalists have to go in there to get information and get answers and put questions and do so fearlessly to really write stories that are based on information and based on facts. So in reality, representing XTV and Creme Radio, Mr. Marisol Amaya does this work, and she's been doing this work. And unfortunately, over the years that she has been with us, this is about maybe the third time that we've had to just say, listen, and it's not, again, it's not the first time that she's experienced this kind of, we of course had the very famous incident on the highway, which was way out there. It's an egregious physical assault that happened with a police officer who we've kind of had the conversations, we're not rehashing that. But for me, it's fundamental for those people who might not know Marisol's record, the work that she does. It's important just to speak on that, to say that when it comes to her craft, Miss Marisol Amaya is as committed a journalist that you can find in Belize. You might have others who are equally committed. Very few can say that they are more committed to the craft of putting out information, gathering information, and doing the work that comes with being responsible for a newsroom. And it's important for you to understand, just to speak, because we work alongside her. And we know that one of the things that is not even, it's really like, when it comes to being accused of being dishonest, that is a ugly remark, because you're talking here about somebody who is obviously human, and as humans we can have erroneous interpretations. Not saying that that's the case here, but just saying it's human to err, as they often say. But in her years of doing her craft, one of the signature aspects of Marisol Amaya's journalism is that she really and truly pursues fact-based news reporting. She's not someone that operates like maybe some of these pop-up social media news outlets that just want to put something out. That's not what she does. And in fact, there are times when, let me just rewind that a bit. News ultimately, while it's an important aspect, sharing information, gathering information, there's also an entertainment aspect to news. Some journalists really make sure that they defend the entertainment aspect. Marisol is more a nerd. She at times even admits that. He's a nerdy, nerdy academic type person. So when you hear somebody that holds the position, the very high, very elevated, prestigious position in our country as the leader of the opposition, accuse our news editor of dishonesty, it really, it's very, it really gets to you. Again, because you know that this is somebody that has dedicated her time as a journalist to making sure that her news reports are as factual as she can make it. We at times have had conversations with her to say, listen, remember that we also have to be exciting and entertaining. She's more academic. But one of the things you know for a fact is that this is not somebody that has any track record of trying to utilize her position and her responsibilities to create false stories, to be ego-driven, to be a sensationalist. None of the above. And in fact, again, in my time here, very few people, very few, it's a short list of people who have had the kind of work ethic, commitment to craft, professionalism, just pound for pound, one of the finest journalists that has ever worked here, and one of the finest journalists that we have in this country. So we have to stand on that. We have to state that to all who might have heard, because this happened, and unfortunately, the information travels at the speed of light in 2025. And this exchange is an exchange that was on 2 of the major networks over the weekend. And in fact, I challenge any of you to even go back and check the Friday news that was on XTV. There was no editorializing, even after what had happened. There was no aspect of that in which Marisol Amaya tried to retaliate, tried to do any of the above in typical Marisol Amaya style. That's not her game. That's not her style. That's not the way she does journalism. Obviously, you would expect that I have a level of bias. She's zinc fence. But I'm saying to you that you can ask other journalists in the game about her. She know how it come up. She's paid her dues and deserves the respect. Now, a part of doing interviews, they can be combative. You're entitled to be defensive. You are entitled to not agree. But to essentially try to discredit an individual, try to disparage an individual with very impolite, disrespectful descriptions of them being ignoramuses, being dishonest, that's a no-go. Completely unacceptable, unnecessary. Just, there is no room for that. Journalists go out, they have a job to do. At times the questions they ask might not be ones you want to answer. We have people who sometimes they run, or sometimes they give ridiculous answers. Journalists face this every day. It comes with it. And I want to repeat, if it were up to Marisol, I would not be saying a single thing on that matter this morning. That's just the way she is. I said to her, there is no way that I will not have something to say this morning in regards to that. Let me take, okay, I lost the call. You can call back, caller. So I won't spend, of course, the entire morning on this matter. And again, for those who know Marisol Amaya, I don't have to come to her defense. But because you have people who might not know, it's a big space, multiple media agencies, so many journalists. You might not be granularly in tune to what a particular journalist represents. So we have to tell you, the Marisol Amaya brand is that she's meticulous, she's dedicated and nerdish about her craft. Krem, good morning, WUB.
Mose, greeting believe to say, Mose, in our fairness, there may be a number of listeners and viewers who have no idea where to talk about exactly. So I'd appreciate if you just say, like, what was the issue?
There was a dispute between the interpretation of what the judge ruling represented for the leader of the opposition. As I guess most people in Belize are aware, the opposition party has gone through a very serious fracture, and it has unprecedentedly ended up in the courts. So it's a very difficult time and a very challenging time. That's the nature of this. And in a back and forth between Marisol Amaya and the leader of the opposition, he said to her that you're wrong and you should say you're wrong, and she insisted that her interpretation was not wrong, and he accused her of being dishonest, of operating from ego, of being ignorant, and called her an ignoramus. He was very upset and his energy was not just, he's usually a very, for the most part, a very composed interviewee. He was obviously very angry with Marisol, and it went to that level where he said what he said, in my view, disrespectful and very very unnecessary, unacceptable, I would even say very very disparaging expressions coming from the leader of the opposition towards the news editor. And, you know, I just felt the need to have to speak on that.
I appreciate you speaking on it and being as measured and thoughtful as you know to be in this situation. And you say one more too, because anybody will know Marisol know about Marisol's personality. I felt that I had to call in. Well, one, the media house where I affiliated with. I'm two, Marisol and my sister. Marisol and I just my co-worker. Marisol is bona fide my sister, and I even solidarity with people where I wouldn't even send her my sister. Next, I have to ask, we know that it's error to humans, and we know, especially when you're in a political office or in a high position, when things may not be going your way, you could lose your cool, right? So I have to look at the situation and say, is this a situation where the leader of opposition just loses cool, or is it a position of when the leader of the opposition is held accountable, that's a lower situation where you respond well to? Because I don't know if it's a one-off situation or if this is a part of a character, and is it a part of his character, in particular when engaging women? Now, that might seem like a stretch to somebody, and this is the first time I said it. I've only had one engagement with the leader of the opposition, and it was a similar situation. So for me, looking at it, that question comes to my mind. And I know a serious situation, and I've always said, I don't take pleasure in even though some people might interpret it as such, in holding leadership accountable. But because I'm a part of a culture, and because of the consistency of what I do it, that it may be interpreted that way, but that's not here and there to me. My point is, powerful people are not used to being held accountable privately or publicly. So here's a situation for me where I had a private engagement with a witness, and it was very similar to how Marisol was dealt with publicly. And I just want to put that on the record.
I would say, Sister Yaya, that a compilation, and first of all, I think I would say them, I can't say that, but it just seems to me that over the years, more journalists are women than men that have been out there in that space. It just seems that way to me. I cannot speak definitively because that's something that would have to be calculated. But even if that's not the case, I would say that a compilation can be made over the years where female journalists are the ones who end up getting this kind of, because primarily the leaders of the country have been males. And so I believe that, just going through my head, a compilation can be made where a case can be made that there is a greater level of irritability in dealing with a female asking questions as compared to how they respond when it's a male. But that's something that I would say that's separate. That's an analysis that is relevant and can be done. But I just felt that, you know, like you said, listen, in my back and forth with Marisol, like, she completely and has always accepted, and as most journalists, they accept that going into that space it's a high energy space. It's a combative space, like, you know, and I feel like there's been you know, very unacceptable energy coming from leadership many times before. The way that there's condescension and all of that. But when you call somebody dishonest, that's a very serious allegation and a very heavy insult to make to someone's face whose craft depends on being viewed as credible and honest. You understand? You are trying to now, you are trying to disparage at a level where you are essentially saying this person is not worthy of being, their stories are not worthy of being listened to or read or watched, because fundamentally they're a dishonest person. And the whole idea that, I think there was also a statement made that the media is like, this is just an excitement, and we are kind of like in a mode where we are trying to feed this fire and all of that, and you know, that energy, because, well, you're kind of like delighting in the state that the opposition finds itself in. You know, the reality is that you can go through our records here and you will find that there has been very little engagement on that issue. It's like that issue, the state that they find themselves in, is of their own making, and nobody has to say sensationalize it, really, because that is to the naked eye, that's an explosion that all who have eyes have been watching unfold. Nobody needs assistance to really find drama and find everything else with that. So that's really on them. It's really to accuse the media, which was not done specifically to this media house, I have to specify, but to accuse the media of kind of you know, sensationalizing what's going on, and you know, kind of like feeding, like a feeding frenzy on everything that's going on there. The reality is that it is very unprecedented for an opposition party to be going to court to resolve their internal differences that have become so public. And again, this is not the doing of any particular media house. This is what has happened. But we understand the kind of, it definitely, they were all under a level of pressure and all of that, but it doesn't matter what pressure you're under, you cannot reduce the exchange to a level of personal insult, especially when you have that position. You have a responsibility to do it. And you know, I think that is what is fundamental. And I want to add this as well, because there was also another, in my view, disrespectful thing in the media late last week, where again, though the names were not called, we know who Minister Perez is talking about, where in kind of putting down, I believe he was on the morning program on Channel 7, I believe so, because I saw it on the 7 News feed, where he pushes back on the stories that have been done by Marisol and Marco, dealing with the state of the fishing stock, and especially Marco's story, questioning the state of the fishing stock and saying that and there's been no response coming. And Minister Perez said, oh, well, you know, these media people, they are getting trips abroad, and, you know, essentially because they're being finessed and because they're being taken care of by these international organizations. That is why they're writing what they're writing, and so he doesn't pay any attention to that. No names were called, but we know who've been writing the articles and who've been standing in front of these articles, who have actually been interviewed on these articles. We know that in the instance of Marco, his articles, and both Marisol and Marco, their articles are in the Mandela newspaper. They've both done this work. And there have been other journalists as well who have been a part of these stories covering the marine environment and everything else. So that's a very serious allegation to make, to say that these stories are essentially, that the journalists who have provided them, who have put them out, that these are not legitimate stories that they have done, that essentially they have been bribed with trips to do these stories. I don't know that there's been any of these, I know that that Marisol or Mark, I don't know about anybody, have traveled abroad with this organization. Any of that has happened, any at all. They have been open to say, and very out there to say, that the support for these stories has come from this organization. So it's not as if though you had to go and find out. It's like they have been transparent to say, listen, this is what has happened. And I think when you have somebody who is essentially saying that these stories are to be dismissed because essentially these journalists have been wined and dined and flown around the world, is not only untrue, but also not exactly dealing with the essence of what is being said. And again, I view it as disrespectful. So all that happened late last week, and we have to call it out,
I agree. Another point to my mind is the questioning of journalist integrity, again, when holding power accountable. So I like one that you just shared with the minister, and it's a serious conversation, and there has to be a way we hold people in power accountable, because the media work is important. And before I go, I just want to double back down on the first point you made. The reason why I do throw a wider net is because, as it relates to the Minister of Opposition, there are two known news stories in how he responded, or how he has been reported, how he dealt with women. And it doesn't put him in a strong light, one being with his wife, and one being with the consistent news report of the minister, the female minister in the UDP party. So what I'm looking at how it has been reported, what we say, how he, and my private experience, how he responds to women when it appears, or at least in 3 or 4 instances, when he's been held accountable. Because this is a red flag. And of all people, because it may wrong whoever I do it to, but when this conversation is about how media workers are treated when holding power accountable, specifically, and I never think about that there may be more women workers than men workers, so there's a greater chance there being a woman who may engage her. But they don't have a lot of women media workers who hold power accountable like Marisol has been known to do.
Yeah.
Oftentimes people look for another male media worker who hold the power accountable, but I find that male media worker entertaining at times, whereas Marisol come across as very hard-hitting, knowledgeable, and other players, but a personality that's still one very, not like in-your-face personality. She's still kind of laid back, even though her questions are hard-hitting.
Yeah, I used to say when I was in another capacity, and I would have to be interviewed. Once I saw Marisol come, I knew that she want stress me out, right? Like I am in the media, but doing interviews for me is not a pleasant thing, right? And again, very often, I think the females in journalism have to speak their stories, and they have to be the ones to say whether or not they feel like in the years of work that they have done, if they've kind of experienced that misogyny energy any at all. I just have the sense I can think about some instances where very recently we've had some very disrespectful interviews. I again respect the female journalists. I feel women journalists have been strong. They have been to a great extent leaders in this, and again some of the most exceptional journalists that we've had in the country have been women. Just off the top of my head, they seem to be like, they definitely outnumber men. And again, here we can speak of at Zing Fence again, when it comes to craft, when it comes to just being driven to ensure that a story has been well done, that's really the signature of Marisol. Like, I can't get Marisol to talk on things that she has not looked into. Like, that's just, and it's important for me to not to dwell on and make it to be about the leader opposition. I want it to be about this journalist that we know, and let the record know, put it on the record, that this is not some hurry-come-up journalist at all. This is somebody with about the craft, dedicated to the craft, as dedicated as we've ever had behind here. Like I can think about Adele Ramos when she was here with us. Like this is like 5-star we're talking about. Man, we lucky to we get lucky if we end up with Marisol and to have her choose us really, and there would we for the years that she has been with us. We consider ourselves extremely fortunate, like just because of that kind of professional dedication. So to have on such a stage, to have her credibility, her honesty, and her thoroughness being questioned, like, we have to push back on that, sister. You got to push back. That is an absolute, like, you can't be more wrong than that. No, not that sister in there. That's not who she is at all.
And especially more because that's the art you have as a journalist. That's the your kind of sort of foundation that people trust you because your integrity and the kind of work you do. So I stand 10 toes deep with you on that that is not who she is as a person, professionally or privately. And unlike you, I would be very clear in my conversation that I would question the integrity of the Minister of Opposition based on how he has related to women on news stories in the past and my personal experience with her. And I think that people should be held, especially people in power, should be held at a higher level of accountability and consistency, that this ought not to be another news story, because we know what happens to any other person, male or female, especially female, because they may have more female workers, that he has to, on the record, atone for a wrong for him do. I don't know how you want to do it, but this can't just left so hanging at the media, and I don't know another news story. And media workers,
I mean,
we don't work with Marisol, I want to know Marisol. I expect media workers to come on the record, because today are we, tomorrow or no. So this not for just be another moment and then you just go on to another news story.
Yeah, again, the funny part, I know that Marisol is probably cringing at this conversation, because this is not what she don't want nobody to take up for her, right? She don't want nobody to feel like if she need a no bodyguard. I get that, because for damn sure we know that she stand. She know that don't know how she operate. You feel me? Like that don't know how she work. But There are times when we would have guilty of serious malpractice. I'm not as a talk show host only, I speak now as a director, XTV, like. She's out there in that space on our behalf, doing something where I have no interest in her doing. I would have been a weak man for not stand up and make the world know this is one of the finest journalists we got in this country, and nobody, but definitely not the leader of the position, not for the use them kind of disparaging, negative, insulting terms, and not gonna sense. At the very least, we all have said something where we, like we get heated in our moment and we say things with our humans, even if you're the king of the world. But the reality is how do you deal with it afterward? And if you don't have nothing to say, then we know that's how you feel and that way you want to be on the record. Then we get it. But there is still an opportunity to say, listen, that never necessarily mea culpa. How you handle yourself, because I have said things to people where in the heat of the moment I said, no, that I know why I want to represent. I want me losing control. Again, but that upon him, that not where we want to focus upon is to the world. Understand something. Miss Marisol Amaya, that not somebody where hear him, scare him when he come to her reporting, her journalism, her craft. Very few people as committed to doing that work in an excellent way like her. I can't backwater for Marisol Amaya as far as journal. I can't do that. Sometimes Koya and I express my opinion, and I know that the level of research into a story where Marisol do. So I tell you right now that their words don't work with that sister. And I know somebody will operate out of vanity or out of ego or nothing like that. Like she know him want to talk about his story, if you get she hype she up. Can't do that. She don't just in that. And we know this where they are. So we just have to stand and defend that and say that wrong, and then we can move on. Thanks for the call, sister.
Respect. How many people have said the people?
All right, it's 7:30. This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We go to 2 Cents Calm with the Brick, and this is sponsored by 4 Point Security.
You're watching WB, and this is XTV. Want to say big respect to 4 Point Security and Euphrates Auto Rental with sponsors. Big up on yourself. I sort of wonder, and they think, election they come up and everybody they talk about it. Make I try go out there and find out the people 2 cents how they really feel about this upcoming election. Come up. How you feel?
I feel good.
All right. Why?
Well, I feel good because I still have my job.
Don't say.
Same way, family. Feel good.
You love where though? Don't say.
I believe Belizeans need to stop making politicians take with a clown. None of us should have go vote so that everybody get a message.
Now you're 2 cents.
Yeah, that they work for we. They don't know.
Election they come up. Whee! Give me a 2 cents man the vibes.
Election, main time will prevail. I burn red, I dead blue. I'm so sorry. Time will prevail. It's 2025, election time.
All right, so that the people vibes on the upcoming election, all right? And the people in 2 cents. You're watching WB, XTV. Big respect to 4 Point Security and Euphrates Auto Rental. All right?
Tired of replacing light bulbs? LEDs are
So who's
back to the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Mose Hyde hosting WB for today, Monday, 17 February 2025. And at this time, we're going to bring in a very special guest, a very important activist, an important voice, one of our most important people-driven fighters we have coming out of the South. The work, not just a voice, because it's a voice aligned with works. Because if it's one thing, the brother don't know about just get on TV or call in on show. The brother is about getting out on the ground and doing for self. Definitely one of the most important voices and personalities and activists that have emerged over the past couple of years to national attention and prominence. I mean, I'm sure he's been on the ground doing things before, but I think really become known to the nation. But the E-word Garbat, the man we know that he just need for text and call, and he got his slot. That's how this work. Actually, we got about 2 straight Mondays where if he come and well, one Monday come, but he get tied down to one show and get you late, then kind of if you make up back from a couple more Mondays and leave misplay here and there. So finally this Monday, it happened.
Man, I have to say, watch your biggest thanks, man, Mose, and always applaud and appreciate what you do. And I overrate you, and I take it as a Belizean brother where they look out for the betterment of everybody, you know?
Yes, man.
Because the whole, and today, representing myself, just, if you don't know, you work Garbut, start from nothing, and leave with nothing, down from Punta Negra, Banda, Placencia. And tourism have been great to me. Because everything I have, I've gotten right here in Belize through tourism. So it brings me now to this point whereby, why you do this for you work sometimes? Like, what I've been privileged for, Mose, and the world. It's a great opportunity to see the abundance of fish life, marine life, just the forest, the mangrove, everything that great, right? But also the opportunity for being an entrepreneur, for actually have some, because I never get into tourism hoping for just look for work for somebody. I came from commercial fishing, which is independent, hoping to climb up the ladder by hard work, not by luck. And I said, the luck you want to be, the harder you work. So I understand all the move. But I reached the point today, how could I, and we as a holistic view, country and world, be that leading edge for the present and next generation? Where do we plant the seed? Because it will take a generational change.
So let me ask you this, because this is going to, I guess, kind of focus you on what one of your first concern is. Is it harder, would it be harder for the E-word transitioning from commercial fisherman to becoming a tourism entrepreneur, self-employed success in 2025, or was it easier then?
As I said, straight to this, it's much harder to access and give for me. Like, I'll give it in a my son context. In that eye, it might be seems easier for him because I may know the way, I never know nothing about fly fishing. Yeah. So it depends on what angle. But I'm saying at the playing field, at where you comes to, making it possible for entrepreneurship at the bottom level, it's not getting easier. When it comes to it's not getting easier, Mose. I could say it straight up. Yeah. It's not, the playing field is not, we're not talking about level. It's all we're asking for and what I chat about today. I don't believe, I sad for my country near Belize. There be such a bigger country. There be such a country where they ask for grants. Most of them don't have a free meal, Mose. This is a real deal. No free meal, not for nobody. All of these things, I don't farm too. I don't believe the way we look at tourism right now. We look at numbers, volume. We can't be Cancun. We could never do that. That if you got planting 3 months and you plant 10 in a 1 knee bunch, they don't come out too fruitful. Where they whereby where they overdo this thing and what they do with the grant that is, then you leave fertilizer to make you figure something that happen. But I want organic tourism. Not me. The world need it. We need tourism. I want first applaud for the opportunity to be in the industry. So I want to do everything to make it possible for the next generation. And the first step that, go back to your history, when we talk about one sustainable development plan. Fortunately, they had. Right in Placencia, it was a grassroots initiative. Mr. Costa was here with me the last time. Unfortunately, he couldn't there. Yeah. But we don't want to reiterate as deep to that. But there's so much milestone that we have seen, and we have example what Mangrove used to do, which house used to there, how we used to think the taxi man in a yard strip, may I climb up and own something. How we used to think that Kurt Godfrey, may I own a fly fishing lodge. How we used to, because he does. But the things, and I know they say, to whom much is given, much is expected. So my whole deal today, tourism is good to me. And if we give back to this for the next generation. I don't think it's wrong for us to talk about the goodness. I like to say tourism, we're in a good spot. But I really think with us being so small, we should be the trendsetter for this nation. And what we look upon, that should be followers of the mistake everybody make. I'll give you a simple one, Mose. You know, in Florida right now, if you want to build, right? You want to go build. That's the keys, because I have good friends there. They have this thing whereby you simply have to buy 2 lots for build 1. They say, you get what I say? Mm-hmm. They have this, you have a point system. Where you go repart, I think that's a rogo. Growth, like how you grow, depends upon the area where you're there. You have to buy 2 lots to make you build 1 building. In a Placencia, I tell my kids then a joke, I tell them, here they happen, when I go and take a picture of what an empty lot look like. Can be dinosaurs. And I just say, even for the business owner, why so much for sale sign there? I have friends who own business, foreigners, who fit sit down in my boat. And the best day they ever say, that the initial day when they come down, after that they're downhill. Because a lot of time, Thomas, the top heavy investment. If you come in and invest 10 million into something, how your turnover will be? How you want to make that back in a small population? You feel me? We welcome foreign investment for so long. I think it's time now we do a reset and we could just do an analysis as to say, where did we went right? How we could capitalize on, how we gone wrong? And just do an assessment of the tourism industry. And the best example, I want to go straight to something where we burning issue, Placencia, tourism destination. Anything you come from, if you got a bank, buy you got it, you know. I always joke, yeah, I work for a lot of rich people, but I'm not rich. Not because you're dying amongst riches, you're there. We're suffering right now. I want to big up the doctor, Dr. Ken Turner, and this one of the best they ever have. He, I think they're over a year now. And this man, we got a big clinic, thanks to the government fee. But one clinic now, a healer by itself. One clinic need boots on the ground. We're really short. The peninsula is 17 miles long, Mose. One doctor with a close to 5,000 on the peninsula, Riversdale, Plantation, Maya Beach, St. Bite, Placencia, it's a peninsula. How much doctor you think we got and how much doctor you think Independence got? You have any idea? We got 1. I'll give you one secret there. Independence got about the same population. How much we got and how much Independence got? Because tourism mean business with a care for people. If you think we eat with a close to them.
How much Independence got?
Independence got 6.
6 doctors.
And I'm not taking away, Independence I love. Dr. Pedro, all of that, I love them. Nice to go because who got boat, who fortunate could go over emergency sometime, you can't get in a boat.
So part of the problem you feel is that it's harder to afford living in Placencia.
Adjust me, I get to the point. The bottom line is that, I'll try to cut it, there's an application for me, right? For a doctor to come and help with a Placencia. No doctor want to take a $1,500 cut and I'll give the cut in this sense. The housing going up on $1,000, right? 1. And yes, government help when I leave it to that. The food, transportation, everything for them going up more. So in Placencia, tourism came, that's a great thing. But if you get hurt at Placencia, one injury happen, unfortunately we had something happen and rush somebody wait, I believe. We have a white elephant ambulance, now we call it out. We got something where nobody could drive. Nobody qualified to drive it. If you drive it down, $500, I think that if I know they make mistake right to Dangriga. You get me? So all of these things where we just want to go through it and find teeth comb. If you check the product when you're in tourism, you can't even afford for work the Placencia. We talk about jobs. My job, I know that we talk about career job, meaningful job. Anytime we talk about job and sustainability and tourism, make we use those now. I wish for this time to tell the government and whoever beat Anthony Mala, the Honorable Anthony Mala, Minister of Tourism, when somebody come in, make we stop look for a bigger check and look for the check where will last longer for the next present and next generation. I would have the privilege to fish with billionaires in my boat. And a new spin right now, then they pay you for go green. We know this. We don't do the nature swap. Who they get to pay? At what cost? If we make more money, and give this right now, keep one permit alive, worth a lot more than dead. Keep for we nature alive, worth a lot more than dead. Yet we'll hear for we minister to talk about. Some people might not like when they cut down mangrove, but they can cut it and plant it back. You can't cut and plant back nature like that. We the talk about ecosystem, not get cut and plant back once. I know they hug mangrove, I know they tell you about the real. And again with tourism, not for long with, we keep one go the private place and move it up more. We want to raise tourism level higher, but is it raising the bar for the people who depend upon the industry more? You see people really, we're so busy that we're not check with change. So the conversation is let's check with change. Placencia, we mean business, the chairman, the whole like the people work hard, Warren Gabbard and Mose applaud. And again, I throw one more there. The man called me, they get a lot of texts saying, boy, from Hopkins are big deal up everybody. Like because we harmonize, you know, this conversation about environment, sustainability, career jobs, this is one isolated conversation under the mango tree. But the point where I want to lead today, the national conversation. With your permission, Mose, once a month at least, like we talk. You work not know a lot of things, but I know enough when I do nothing. And you may ask a question last, it's too late. It's never too late because we're go deeper. These, I don't want to use one strong word like they said the people now will come in and just.
So make I put this to you, right? So one of the things where you mentioned that there's no free food, and we live in our time now, this 2025 where we enter the season of Trump, and we enter with that. What is being signaled is that we're entering the season of selfishness exists before Trump, but Trump make it an ideology. They say not only we're selfish, but we're proud to be selfish, and we're be openly selfish, and we want to tell you we're be selfish and you can't know about it. We about we right now. And we don't control them. The man when he votes, when the election, and that between them, whatever. But the way how the thing work is that when a very powerful presence emerge, it influence things. So right now, we say everything where they go on right now, people will start talk what we are do for we. Over the weekend, we hear quarrel between the US and European nation and got emergency meeting. We can't depend on it. What we are do for we. So everybody they go into the internal space. So now we probably there. We got a population of 400,000. Cool if the spirit of the empire is to say we have, but we think for make we be better, we have to be more about we. So they have always been about them. For their transformation about doubling down and become more about them and be honest and be blunt about it. So now we're probably there now. We're probably there. We're probably there now. Whether for we version of what I call logical selfishness, self-preserving selfishness. No ugly, unrighteous selfishness. Self-preserving selfishness, it's logic based. We'll say, okay, we have to factor in selfishness in everything where we create in this sleep place we call the jewel. Where you see as being important aspects of that selfishness. And I use the term because every human being have a level of selfishness in it. Or else how we survive.
Mose, you can't say it better, and I like giving an example as this. If you don't love yourself, you can't love nothing.
Absolutely.
Right? We buy this expensive ticket, gone to LA if you go look for people in Miami. When you catch that plane, they tell you something. I like listening now.
Yeah.
If whatever happened, we lose, whatever happened, there the mask come down. I have my leave, watch out for them, I got no other one, show by the mask and save them. I got to save me.
Right.
When this country now starts save Belize, we like joke this thing. But I believe that for every other yan except Belizean, might sound like joke, that real talk. So if we don't go to selfishness in the sense of the holistic view, if you're not self-preserve,
yes,
you're rotten. Nothing can come wrong with. And we the rotten almost. I remember sitting in a lot of meeting. People fatigue, you know. That's why they must say, boy, if you're just a giant way, just again, I want to give something. This is no association, no government, no nothing. Now, leave boy just to come and say, this is the way we must do that. A movement, and I'm not talking in isolation. I represent too much different association and groups.
So,
but
since Hopkins.
Yes, everywhere. We got San Pedro, Kikaka, PG, well, like Sartenia. And now it becomes, you see what the guys in Dora Hopkins. But we don't want to forget distracted that is Mose. How do we learn or leave it from? Even Trump. How do we learn or leave it? Because if you not self-preserve, we reach a point right now, Mose, that I said a point about taking the longer lasting check. I'm tired of hearing this one, man. Imagine how small Belize and we talk about two port where we come in. The good Prime Minister says something that we even have enough job for people where they come. We are taking applaud. Good. I don't know if the two things could be correct. At the same time, we the jump on any wagon we say then they create 100 jobs. Cut that down, make we bring it. For who the job? For who the job then if we say we don't have enough job? You know what are the job are for we duty now Mose? Me, that's why I say when I ask, I guilty of this. I need to stay upon this. Because job mean career. Job mean sustainability. Job mean meaningful. Now give me a job I can't afford to keep. The great doctor in Placencia have a job he can't afford to keep. We got a good meeting at the party. We have a medical assistant committee. Man birthday. Young man. You have I think girlfriend or fiance. This man had 40 callers one day. They will tweet a meeting. How we deal with them mentally. Show we connect to the police. How we do everything. And some crazy emergency happened that same day too. People get stabbing or something happen, bam bam. But he under the radar. He suffer Dr. Alexis, who was our doctor for the past 5 years. He said, Dr. Hernandez, you'll get burned out, you know. So we just say, please, with a plea now, we want to ask again that let's self-preserve and the rest of things we left. I don't want to go to a moratorium in this sense, but make we slow down the amount of investment we get in and assess. Because maybe, listen where I go with foreign investor who want to make you make money. But the amount of for sale sign, they tell me to pass it to the next person, so good.
All right. I'm going to take this call before we go to break, but Krem, good morning, WUB.
Good morning, Mose and Mr. Garber. This is Sandra Clay. Mr. Garber, on Thursday last week, Mr. Arturo Zaraba was in that studio there discussing with Nur Mohammed. And in the second or latter part of the discussion, they got on to the matter of drilling for oil exploration, oil extraction. And I listened and I thought, am I hearing right? It sounds to me like we are proposing, or at least it was that part of the discussion, I think it was there, that it was prefaced somewhere around there by you were saying that the People's United Party will win the next election. He made that statement. Now that's not my interest. My interest is the consequences of drilling for oil. And then he asked Mr. Lizaraga, what do you think has not yet been completed? And Mr. Lizaraga said he has a long list of things that have not yet been done in this term of office. Now, in the discussion on oil, I thought I heard support now for drilling for oil offshore. So on Friday, they weren't taking any questions at that point. So I waited on Friday I called in to ascertain whether I had heard correct. And it turned out that I had heard correct. In my exchange with Nur Mohammed, understand that this is a science-based analysis of the climate change, that oil and gas and coal and all the fossil fuels are producing in the world? And he said yes, but that it had become a political, economic problem. I said, but the political and economic have nothing to do with the science. The science is showing the movement of species, fish species north out of the equatorial area. As the equatorial area gets so hot, they are moving north into the slightly cooler waters, and then the northern species, they're under attack. That's only one example. I said, look at the fires in California. That's now leading to a problem of insurance, where it's possible that nowhere in California or very limited areas will be allowed insurance. Let's go to the Indo-Pacific region, where insurance now is not being offered to some of the islands in the Pacific, and some of those islands are slated for disappearance. So I don't understand how you can sort of say, well, the climate problem is maybe there or is there, but these other things exist. So what I want to know, Mr. Garbutt, is for the tourism, fishing, because you said you wanted fishing, and fishing for me is very important for protein production. I was raised, as a baby, I was raised only on fish. For a greater part of my life, the solid protein I ate was fish. And later on, my mother would introduce myself and my sister to other things. And it paid off. So I'm trying to understand how would the decision to go into oil exploration in the marine areas, what are the implications for both the fishing and the tourism industries? Do you consider that would have vast implications? And do you consider that we have a bird in the hand now with fishing and tourism? We have a bird in the hand. That bird in the hand we're trying to get out there in oil is not yet in our hand. And wouldn't it be possible that we will lose the bird in the hand, and that bird out there we think we will get that will give us more, will prove our destruction? Could you please comment?
Definitely, I like the bird in the hand now, because I always say word, meaning two in the bush, that you're one in hand word, two in the bush. So this analysis is great, analogy, sorry. But my point now, when it comes to commercial fishing versus tourism, you're looking at somebody who come from boat and avenue, and it affect anything happen underwater, affect both of we the same way. We're already doing a depth for nature swap, you know. We're going into, what we do right now is making a lot of noise. Even talking about oil. We're not even do first for analyze or for do one comprehensive study for say how we got so far with commercial. I'll tell you a simple example. The guys down in PG, I want to big up. They're talking to fisheries at this hour. Hyde been there, Toledo Institute for Development and Environment, for donkey since 2000. When Will Mejia used to run it, and I big up the man, we didn't used to have any fish trap in that era. Man does go out in and a paddling dory, catch their fish, make their way of life and live good, feed their family. Remember, we got neighbors, we don't think like we sometimes. They come and they say one faster way. And that faster way, they get way out for the next generation. So the bird in the hand is very important. Doing it traditional way is that bird. Now with the diversify, we're going into tourism, which is great, which is I'm a part of. But we also to get kicked out from that at the ownership level. So this conversation today, I'll just try to stick it whereby, let's slow down a little bit. We're not even in the position to talk about drilling oil. We need to drill down for the real climate change. You go to Placencia, you see, the whole beach, Placencia Beach itself brings so much revenue for this country. I don't see any revenue go back to the beach, Mose. I tell you, when they have the king tide, the last time, I wish I would have seen students on the beach. I wish I would have seen people from near, from environment, whichever another call out single-handedly, be there just, how could we better this beach? Because it look like people afraid because we expect, we expect them to be the export. In climate change, it's changing, so it's difficult for say to export. You're willing to try something and see what work and when it work, and not be, we have a lot of export pan what don't work. So my point I would have give, before we even go into oil, I would like to say a lot more hand on deck on the beach, and I'm calling on the tourism minister, because I know I call now pan environment pan this. If you're selling a product, Mose, you in charge of selling this product, and everything then they do, they broke up this product, and you still go to all the big show and tell people to invest. We don't take care of nature. The Placentia Beach have no system. They got people who are in garbage. 3 days ago, call me gone with police. This guy placed the washway. They don't have, yes, they got a permit to have to go through the legal way. He didn't go. And even if he did, this is how far I want to go. Even if he get a permit, the permit that was in the office and done, boom. They not depend on the ground more. The beach going left way. And I know they say that climate change, not going grad how long we could hold on it. But let's stop be so good at just jumping onto the next wagon. I don't think this country they're on the stage we even talk about oil dredging at this moment. Like we fix fishing, people really lost right now. The commercial guys, I big up Yaya with that show where they do always be a good view upon it. I definitely want to join you, Yaya. But how do we win the heart of the people who need it most? Then people get locked of interest for a reason. They need tangible evidence, like I said in a mangrove thing. Then people drive down from Belize City Mose and upon the journey there. Then go look left, then go look right. Infraction they happen. You want to come in at this beautiful vehicle, nice office. They talk to me about replant mangrove, and this, when you're not even doing the smally, just charge them on the smally money. Because the charges are nothing. So I'm sorry for going so long, but make we fix this bird in the hand right now. When you're commercial fishing, need a lot of help. I need the people from bottom up approach as Nigel, as we always say, and not top bottom as what the tourism industry they do. Make we stop hijack and this debt for swap, not to benefit the people who need it most.
You have something to add before you go, Ms. Corey, because I have to go to a break, so you could just add you and add, then I'm going to break. Hello? Hello?
Sorry for being long-winded.
No. We are going to break and come back. It's a WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. But the E-word Garbett, really, they express and really they put out to our ears and eyes for the one when they watch. Where they go on the ground. And I said this before I got a break. You probably got more for risk the talk out than if you just handle your success. And because right now you don't like you don't make your bones. You don't strong in the game. But where you do represent the unselfishness for everybody. We say we can't just focus on ourselves like that. But we have to focus on ourselves as on collectives. The collective selfishness. Both preserving we. They're not an individual materialistic kind of thing about how we make better for we, how more people become significant stakeholders in this beautiful thing called Belize, rather than just the bleachers the what.
For me, Mose, I can't believe in unjust enrichment. Yeah. It just, if the way I measure my success, that's how much I could give to this country. That's success. I want to give a lot more, honestly.
All right.
That is success.
We're going to break and come back. This is WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. All right, welcome back to the WB Wake Up Believes Morning Vibes. But the E-word Garbutt in the house this morning. We have our telephone number at 280-5848. During the break, but you said that you want to be on picnic right now. What do you mean by that?
Definitely, I think all we could relate back to some niece and nephew where you might promise to carry the ice cream parlor or promise to get something, right? Under the light, you want to say yes because you just want out the picnic. Nice. Guys, tell we be like a picnic and continue pursue what they have promised. And give a great example of that. Placencia Point was promised to acquire back. There was a land acquisition act. Go ahead.
Hello.
Morning, Mose. Morning, Ewart.
Good morning, good morning.
Yeah, I just want to join in on the conversation, man, because the topic is real. And you know this is a topic that we have been fighting for decades. I can't tell you how significant the changes have been in Placencia. And you know, Ewart have been there for 10 years. And the changes where I see is unbelievable. And we need to hold back. We really, really need to hold back. I mean, Placencia is on a scale right now will be self-destruction in a few years. And the authority, they know to take the initiative to make the necessary changes and adjustments where we need to see. And I don't know if you have heard or have seen the press release by the World Bank. The World Bank said that our reef has went from fair to poor. And the reason for that they gave was overfishing and the loss of habitat. So when you say all name mangroves to get cut down back, we to destroy the habitat for the juvenile. The massive crisis we to create. And nobody know to listen. Nobody know to listen, Ewart. So we have to come up with a formula as to how we have to make this thing, how we have to get this message out. Because we to deal with a group of NGOs, what I reference as the come along, get along crew, buddy. And if you're not a part of that crew, you don't benefit any at all. And if you notice, all the day want to eat, they set up this debt for nature swap, and then they destroy for we resource, the backbone of where we come from, Brett. The backbone of what we generation depend on, then it destroy. And then it destroy this and leave it the money. Because when the money is on family, we don't got we reef to go back to. And you know, we that are poor right now, where you going after that? We have we neighbors, they just don't give a damn. They kill for they want, and they are come across and they are kill for we want. Because they don't care. So now the Placencia, we have to rise up. Hopkins, we have to rise up. Krieger, we have to rise up. Monkey River, I call in and I said multiple times, the money with that conservation fund, the issue, you know, they bring back the beach, the Monkey River, you know, the help Punta Negra, you know, the help Placencia, the loan money where they're going to conservation, in a consultation, right? And this is our killer. This is our killer. So I really, really strong in solidarity with you, with our brothers. We love that community. We continue to fight for our community. But it's bigger than you and me. The masses that we be up against, right? If you listen, more such when the comments where the minister picked this morning when him in the car, mentioned that the man they push back. In the push back on the narrative when it come out of the journalism reports. Why the pushback? Because everybody don't want the mass of the people hear the truth. So we see in a crisis, we fishes in a crisis, and everybody push back on that because everybody don't want you understand and recognize what is taking place. If you notice in the last house meeting, when the Prime Minister made the pass on a loan motion, the man failed to mention that in the press release on the World Bank, he stated that oil reef went from fair to poor. Knowing him by the talk about oil drilling, banks in a major trouble. So we need everybody to come out.
There we go, Nige. There we go, my brother. What we really need now that today, it started far before now, but I really appreciate the support and all of you do as well, my buddy. And it take all of we all hand on deck. But more than that, man, we need for more than talk. We need for be action. And Miss Eleanor tell me something, tell it, where was a teacher for donkey years. For make a generational change, right? You know, she teach picnic, I tell her, Pope, you don't know if you do this, do that. And someone you know listen, whole week, nothing happen. Sometimes I be depressed, like, why are they teach them picnic in hard days? 30 years later, Nige, the same exact thing where she tell a person, like, you just click. I use that example though, but the critical here, that this way we go, now got 30 years to make the next generation, I'll click. Because nothing I left in 30 days. If we simple example, I was in Guatemala, on the Pacific side. I love traveling now, one of my business expense. I go everywhere where people do the same thing where I do different. They fly fishing over on the Pacific, Mose, boy, watch out. Sailfish, marlin, I 8, 9, 3 days. They respecting, you know, say plastic they throw about like that, then they move the vibes and they feel it. Why? The people they feel the love. On this side, they say destroy. So he left up to we the people, and it start today like I said before. Thanks to the opportunity, and we always keep this more than action, but I want to go back, Nige, thanks again, back to the picnic conversation. The only way we can fix this, and no matter red, white, blue, green, whatever it is, and I want, which government I want to win, that when the people win. I don't worry about color. But my point, they promise with a Placencia, they get back this land acquisition, right? Then gazette it the first time. Thanks to the first step. We go over years, I got myself lead an initiative mode. I get over 500 signatures saying this land could never be given to anybody at all, worse foreign interest. I was a part of a cooperative in 2017 where spot this accretion. And we made a think about apply for it. But we said the best way by we find out, we get a lead sketch, we give it to village council. Back then the UDP, they promised that they know I develop this to give it to no private entity. But it better keep it in the government, and because some other village, for instance, may do something hanky-panky. So straight, how when we look later, in 2023, I think it was, private entity, they look for pack fence, bam, 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 and they build this thing. More when I know we got wrong with this Placencia accretion pan a point. When I wrote the petition, I write it myself and carry it wrong. I wanted strong to say that we are called for everything. Well, even own what they in a questioning. What we have done was only take these people to court or channel them for what we catch them a thief. I like the example, I own boat. If you have your own boat and you thief my engine and I go report, then I just take off the engine Mose. Then I hold everything till the court settle, till the case settle. Where we end up, they don't know. Pan the land accretion for who don't know. Placencia, the point get bigger. The way how the government and the last year, any neighbor exactly adjacent to it will have the first privilege, except if the necessary for a village expansion, etc., which Placencia fit in. So we have rights to that land. We don't set, we even build boardwalk. This private owner now was you go wrong path. That's all I really want to go further and go don't want 2 cents to go ask people at Placencia what happen. I walk wrong and I say, boy, you believe we don't get this thing yet? Because I stay up on this side of the picnic where I want check. Warren, what happened this? You know what happened just 2 weeks ago? This lady actually looked for build one fence around the same place. So you gone for Lobster Fest before. You gone for Easter. The same place they look for go for.
I gone for Easter. I gone at the Luciano concert that the last time.
Okay, right, that a beautiful piece of land now.
Spot there?
We still not own it. There was ribbon cut. The good minister again for tourism. So when I buy it back, listen what I get legal advice from an attorney before. And when they do a land acquisition act, immediately it cease and desist to that person who they're in a questioning. Right now we're acting. They still acquire this place. Then still at Central Building Authority, if I don't make mistake or some entity, can they ask an bogus question. How do I feel? if we're giving people permission to build a fence. How we are feel, we tell you that can never happen. And we need this now before election, the paper, the title for that place. And we not do this just randomly because election they come. I want to be the baby, we want to be the baby. We cry till we get answer. Placencia people, we appreciate it and we are not beggars. That's why right now I reach out again to any doctor where they listen to it. We live in our tourist zone. The Mango Creek, the people are safe and are happy. If they get injured, they got 3 private doctors they could go and 6 doctors will work for government in Placencia. God forbid something happen on a 17 miles of peninsula. You got 1 doctor, great doctor, Dr. Hernandez and Dr. Alexis, who is private. Right? This is tourism we mean business now. And you got over almost a 30 bump for speed over with a white elephant ambulance when another works on it. A car from Mango Creek for come around. Guys, time for we wake up. Time for we step up. But I want to reach out to the doctor where they look right now. We actually lead this initiative along with the mental health committee. We want to make one area for make us stay. We want that housing for honor and it be free of cost. We need honor. We don't placenta of the people who believe in a handout no more. Check the record. Success, the first successful quote that right down there. Many people here, if you hear somebody sick, we don't look for no politician, we look for we that togetherness. So together guys, I believe in this movement that tourism is great. It have got us thus far. Let's set back and do an assessment. And I like you if you go around, you talk to Mr. Bobo, Mr. Country, Mr. Jack. Ask those people with the same sustainable plan. What have they seen the change? Are you satisfied? Are your life better now than then? Because tourists come for 2 things, we said 3, right? They come for culture, nature, and community. Are those 3 things being beneficial? Is it stepping up the bar, or are we having these jobs we can't afford to keep? Guys, they bring me thus far, and I want the next generation enjoy it. We got to talk.
We're going to take a break and come back. But you were in the house.
Sorry for long.
In Belize, we value our families. We
All right, welcome back to the WUB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Mose Hyde and our special guest this morning, Brother Ewart Garbett, presiding in this conversation, February 17th, 2025. Telephone number 280-5848. Let me just say this before we re-engage, Brother Ewart, that just for the record, no, on the matter of drilling for oil, I stand against the insanity of contemplating, risking all that we have. Because all that we have, we've still not, as you have so eloquently described, even with what we have right now in our hand, we not figure out distribution. We not figure out justice of it. We not figure out equal opportunity of it. Just with what we got in our hand now, that not get fixed because you decide to demolish everything we got in your hand, go look for something else. You still got the same problem. Distribution, just distribution. The beautiful DRC, beautiful and rich Congo. If you base on extraction, the wealthiest people on planet Earth for be them people who live in the Congo. If that's on extraction of valuable things, boy, then they extract valuable things out of the Congo before I born. You think that play? Diamond and got it, copper and got it, timber and got it, oil and got it. New things come up now, cobalt in your phone, your computer, then got it. There's the earth rich. Go and do me one thing. Go to YouTube and just type in Congo's road conditions, or type in the way how people have to travel upon a river to move their product from location to location. Or, you know what, Google just the amount of people who get killed the other day, about 3,000 people get slowed down. If that's an extraction, Congo will look like first world, quote unquote, with everything nice and lovely and beautiful. Extraction has never served anybody except the empire. So anybody will get caught up in the false belief that extraction means liberation and means wealth for all, that craziness. We the struggle for have inclusion with just the things that we got right now in our hand, but at least we know we got one piece of it. At least we got a couple people where push out the elbow and shove in, right? Cut the line and try get one lead. Because that's how you get in. No, we don't get in based on you get an invite. You have to crash the party. You don't want party crasher. You used to call me bedroom David one party crasher. We don't have party crashers. And that not for be, if you be just for your birthright, you born with an invite to a party food to eat. You're not supposed to have to figure out how you want to broke down the door. But you to describe this morning is that we still let our place apart. Figure on the table, we have to broke down the door. But if that broke down the door, we have to broke down the door, well then get the axe. That way you talk.
The 100% was 100%, but I think like with everything there, say I'll catch more bee with honey now.
Yeah.
For the investor, for everybody where they come in, how do we attract the right investor? That's how we have this conversation. I think the right investor at this hour, if you look on the carbon footprint, the domestic, because if you don't have to bring in something, I go to tourism, just conversation. The first people who bail me out for paying my loan, so some of them don't like that. Some of the people who got a nice job that Belize, some will own this or some will own that. They never burn no lot of fuel for a jet for Konya. Because when they talk about carbon footprint, when they talk real sustainability of Mother Earth. Yes, there's a little push here and there talk about, local tourism, bam, 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 or, but what we really mean when we say that. How could you have domestic tourism bloom if I can't pay my light bill? I can't pay my water bill. Be real, Mose. Everything starts from our healthy middle class. In this whole America, I mean in South America, Uruguay, good example. Canada, number one when it comes to when you talk about corruption, they don't check the middle class. Go down to South America, check Uruguay. What happened? How they do this thing? What do do? Have to involve me and you, Mose. Like we stop talking about involvement mean grant. Involvement mean these handout, these debt swap. Like we start the real conversation then. Go up on the ground. That's why I'm inviting you to Placencia. Let's go do a one-on-one. Go up on the ground. How you get up by, how you wake, how you feel. You live that Placencia, you work too much with a piece of land side of you there. How would that stay? How this the work? How this thing, how the system that we will, this is the point I want to give. We want to attract the right investor, and I think charity start at home. So, one, when we invite the foreign investor, we are making no, sir, if you pay, simple example, and I'm a good buddy, I have a casino, I'll give you an example, right? If you make a casino be successful, just opinion, or more than opinion, I think fact, you need 2% of people, or 3 want to be gamblers. So if you spend X amount of dollar into this, you need to check your surrounding. If you got 2 million people wrong, so you get 2%. Wow, that's several thousand. You're all right. We have a lot of these business when not even money can make any business look successful. They can pump money back into it and they give you back. That's what they kill you in the tourism industry. A lot of these artificial money, private island, big beach, they sell it to the next buyer. And the best day, that's why I said something at the beginning, the best day that the first day you're coming, because you want to turn your passion into your career. But when you see that the returns not happen, culture suffer, nature suffer, and you just pass it on.
You just find another dreamer.
You find another dreamer that all will happen. So
that dreamer give a nightmare, he find another dreamer.
So all over the know for the great investor coming through, they have a great example near Hyde away key. We have these people up there, Belmont, Newark, etc. When you give out permit, visit Hyde away key and when you come along with me and say, these people came here 20 plus years ago, teach their kids how to snorkel right in that area, swim. How you would feel if you come to Belize, respect nature, instead of cut mangrove, even plant more, build within the ecosystem, make one leave boardwalk, one biggest house, right out south of Hopkins, make we say 12 miles, 14 miles south of Hopkins, between Hopkins and Plant, next to Wilbower Flat, the far from Wilbower. Point is that their overhead, they never want killer. So they could make good life with that nice area, right there, so with one cabana, they live the life, they live like Gilligan's Island, and they don't even have sunflower because they don't have no sun. They don't extract, they don't do no kind of dredging. How, and this is their sediments now. They see the island where they pick the land for snorkel. Come so on, get destroyed at the same place where they charge one man, they actually charge, and if they stop the dredging because they gone without permit. That are just like nothing. No kind of, they say, I blow like a breeze. Right now, those people is building this big thing. But we have some good examples, Mose. That's all I want to say. So,
examples of how to
do it right. Because does it benefit our lovely Belize to bring in some marble from Indonesia and some of the most, watch our fanciest sheep? This is, I don't know the thread, I don't even know.
1,000 thread.
Yes, and have communities suffering. And even the person who bring in the 1,000 thread, they spend $1,000 to stay alive. He's not making money. Like we talk, the real talk, man. Because we want people to make money. Any investor, I want to make you make money. The person making the first sale sign is making more money.
So for the people who listen to you right now, especially people with the in this area and were motivated by your concerns and want to be in support and be in solidarity, how they could link and...
Right now I do this 610 1018, my number where I start a movement with action. Now we want if that 2 man, Nigel, that watch out, we got Damon, we got Mr. Castillo, when we come on the show, Mr. Marley, we got all them boy, Glenn, Placencia, we're full of people, Garrett, the whole crowd. Warren, all the guys. And it's a movement, San Pedro, Kikaka guys, by you work this to happen. I remember during the break, I made talk to the cameraman, I said, man, one of the best things, the gift I feel like, a reward, the best reward of success. Getting a lot of call now that you work this to happen, what we are do? And this one will hit even more now. Young lady called me away from Laughing Bird Key out there. Mr. You work this to happen, this shed now, they look good enough. What we are do? Because autonomy, that we usually give it respect. We give minister too much. We give this one too much. We don't ask them what they want to do. We don't make one generational change. That the whole motive of this conversation. What we are do. Because Mose, if I keep front of my yard clean, my drain good to go, I'd help. So when I say, you already have no hurricane plan, what you do? But if I have to ask you to go clean my kitchen or clean the house, so having that conversation that more people is saying what they could do for Belize more than what Belize could do for them. So how could we spark the investor who is coming to Belize to say what they could do for Belize, not what Belize could do for them. And I'm not saying gratitude. We're not talking about just Red Cross for free. In giving you're receiving. It was simple. Just read the text. In giving you're receiving. You got to give back something to the country.
So let's give you a call. Link you.
Link my man. 610 1018 when I move forward on this. And when I stay upon it with your permission once a month minimum. We have real conversation. Call in. We want to talk about how they feel, how this happen. And to any government, big success. For no success, that's for we success. And like I give like things where we do for help, for take off the burden, for make it no back so much. So we have the biggest obligation to tell you when they do fool.
Even Garbot in the house, WB, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We take a last break, come back and wrap up. Today, a couple minutes away from 9 o'clock, we hope you have a great start to your work week. And like myself, if we got a better life, health and strength, tomorrow morning we could all come back again for the Tuesday edition of Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We give thanks to our special partner this morning, collaborator, special once a month guest host, I guess we could have referred to the man, the great Ewart Garbutt. Have a great Monday. We give salute to the team, Larry G at Creme Radio, the glue at XTV, Mr. Cliff Lewis, and at the control tower, Alexi Belide. For now, stand strong, stand firm. We're gone!
Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving, na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself. This is a show by people. Belize our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out. Is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to build your day. And all the things that will feel happen like God blue skies. And nothing make people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving.